Okay, and hello, welcome to this video. I think I kind of missed something in the last one. There were actually extra steps to actually if I were to have one temperature sensor in my whole server, there was still extra things to do. Okay, if you scroll down towards the model design XML file that Kutsai actually presented, you will see that the base object. Okay, over here, the base object is called batch plum type. The base object has a references part, and that actually needs you actually link the instance back to the object folder. Now, if you don't do this, I think yeah, actually I'm not that sure what happened, but it seems to be quite important. And my guess is that your code probably won't work properly, right? Because OPC likes to look for, I guess, a very structured way of organizing your classes, methods, everything. So let me format this correctly first. Yeah. Okay, so what's this reference thing? Okay, if you take a look towards and you scroll all the way up towards the demo model.xml, you'll notice that this signal OPC object. Okay, this OPC object is called signal. Okay, and yeah, this is right, yes, OPC object. This OPC object is called a signal, and it's supposed to be referencing some ID. Now I forgot also, secondly, because I forgot to mention also that you have to not just create object types, you need to create the actual objects. So here is the class, so to speak, which is the object type. You also need to have OPC objects. So writing OPC objects is the second part. Here's the OPC object. You can use the autocomplete to help you. And what do you need for OPC objects? You need the references bit right here that links the object back to the folder. So you're actually constructing objects here. And you need to have symbolic name and type definition. Okay, symbolic name and type definition. So this is an instance. These objects are instances of the temperature sensor. So I'll just call this maybe temperature sensor 1, symbolic name, temperature sensor 1. And the next thing I'll put here is not the base type, but type definition. Okay, that's all. So what you need to make sure is different is base type is for object type, type definition is for object. So that's the only thing. And the type definition has to be a concrete type. And what's the type definition? Here it is temperature sensor. So let's go for temperature sensor. Okay, so this already instantiates the object type here, temperature sensor, and I just call this object temperature sensor 1. This creates an OPC object. Now, to make sure that it's so-called filed in the correct place, you need to actually copy and paste the reference part under OPC references. So do make an OPC references reference. Okay, so we will need a section called OPC references. So I'm just going to open this up here. OPC references. Okay, OPC references. And now I'm going to equal sign these things. OPC references. And in OPC references, you will need to have an OPC reference, of course. Equal to indent. What's under OPC reference? Okay. The OPC reference things here, the main thing that you need to have is this thing called the objects folder reference. So you need to kind of link your object back to the folder, like so. I'm using the demo file, of course. Okay. One more time. Yank. Now paste it here. So let's just copy and paste it. This OPC references. So the objects themselves, they need to have a symbolic name. They need to have type definitions, meaning to say which class or which object type is this object an instantiation of. Okay, so these are some objects I'm going to change this here. These are some objects which instantiate previously defined object types. So this is how the OPCUA stuff is done. So I will delete 3 words, save this up. Okay. And that is it. Okay. At least have these references here. And as you can see in concise batch plant, okay, concise batch plant, he actually has OPC references. OPC reference is inverse true. Or probably I should add that in as well. I don't know what that does, but it's over here, so don't change what's not broken. If it ain't broken, don't fix it, kind of a thing. So let's check this out. We're supposed to put the is inverse equals true. All right, so is inverse, this is true. Okay, is inverse equals true, and that's the OPC reference. That's how you so-called key it. So there's a lot of copying and pasting, so make sure you have a few files around. Yeah, I think I might just upload this to GitHub somewhere. I will leave the link in the description, at least as what do you call it, examples. We have some examples to take a look at. Now this right here is the bare minimum that you need to just have here to instantiate the object. Now let's compile this code and see what happens in our C#, the resulting C# code. So I'm going to save this mymodel.xml. Okay, I'm going to compile it again in PowerShell. Okay, and let's see how the files here have changed. Let's look at our classes. Okay, the classes here do not change at all. Okay, let me delete the buffer again, just to make sure it's loaded up properly. Now the classes here, they don't really change. It doesn't seem to change at all. Yeah, we don't have new instances. Data types also don't seem to change. We have get temperature, temperature reading kind of a class, temperature reading collection, which we discussed before. No other change. Probably in the constants you will see that there are different things. So for example, over here we have this public static partial class objects. Okay, so it looks like the temperature sensor number 1 is already registered here. Okay, so you look for temperature sensor 1. Okay, and these will be so-called assigned node IDs over here. And let me go Shift N. Yeah, let me go here. Yeah, this expanded node IDs here, temperature sensor 1 equals to new expanded node ID objects temperature sensor 1. So my guess is that you don't actually instantiate the objects so much so inside the C# as much as you do inside the somewhere up in the OPCUA. The OPCUA way means to say that, okay, we have some the objects are defined by the node IDs. They are defined by the names and the types that you have defined before. So I'm guessing somewhere in the server, you'll feed all this data in and you'll instantiate the classes, the objects, the OPCUA way. How exactly, I do not know, and I frankly do not want to dig into any more code. Yeah, so here's what probably it would look like. And then the next thing is that, okay, how do we put this into a server kind of application? So I'll stop for now. I'll see you in the next one.